What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. I hope your week is going well. So let's take a look at the market once again. Pre-market analysis. So we're going to be looking at opportunities for tomorrow trading session. It's going to be a big one. It's going to be ECB, and before that, we actually have Swiss National Bank as well announcing their interest rate, which is expected to be another rate cut. So let's take a quick look at what happened today in the market. All right, you had the US CPI. It came out as expected, so there was an initial move to the upside, to the downside on the dollar, and to the upside on the opposite currencies of the dollar, but that didn't really move the market that much. Then we had interest rate decision in the Bank of Canada, where we had another 50 basis point rate cut. All right, and yes, in that moment we actually saw a move to the downside across the CAD pairs, which is something that we talked about yesterday. We were looking for that opportunity. Unfortunately, I didn't really like where dollar CAD reacted. I was looking for that extra fake out. Price was creating a range, and we're going to take a look into the charts in a bit. But Euro CAD, for example, and even Pound CAD, but mostly Euro CAD, that can be actually a great opportunity. I'm not involved. I didn't really manage to participate, but because tomorrow we have the ECB, and if the euro actually by any chance goes down again, Euro CAD can end up being basically the trade of the week, with that double move to the downside. First with the CAD interest rate decision, and then with the Eurozone, and that could be kind of a double strong move that we can have in here. And sometimes that's how we can position ourselves as well in weeks like this, where you know that there are going to be really important news across a few kind of zones, countries in this case. So just try to find which currency actually is connected with both of those countries, and maybe you can find a great opportunity, especially if prices goes always in the same direction. Sometimes, yes, sometimes you may have that move down, and then the day after it completely reverses and goes to the opposite side. But that's where price action comes in place as well, and try to find those opportunities. So that's what we had. Again, more comments in the morning from China, Chinese representative. Again, potentially more stimulus, looking to boost the economy in 2025. And again, we saw the reaction a little bit across the Aussie dollar, New Zealand, and so on. Those pairs actually that I'm really interested now to look for longs, after price finally took those lows that we've been waiting for the last few days. Now, great. The reaction has been already quite good, but we're going to try to see if price actually comes back again or not. The opposite on the Euro Aussie, for example. So yes, tomorrow Swiss National Bank. So we're going to take a look at dollar franc Swiss as well to see what's going to happen. Aussie, it's going to have an unemployment, so usually those are actually news catalysts that can affect the market. And then of course, as I mentioned, we have ECB and Core PP as well in the US. Yeah, and then in the UK on Friday we have GDP. Well, we'll see what's going to happen by then. So let's take a look into the market in here. Okay, basically we are in the last 10 active days of 2025. All right, so that's when you have all the CPIs, interest rate decisions across everywhere. One second, something that also happened was another comment, but from the Japanese government, where they're starting to look ahead and try to see where it's going to be the next the next hike in the interest rate, and if they should delay it, or if by any chance they should do it almost as soon as possible. And as soon as possible could be already next week. And that's why in the morning we had such a volatility across the yen pairs, because it's basically pricing in already the potential hike that's going to happen either next week or for sure the beginning of next year. That was something as well that we looked at, that we are going to pay attention to as well. All right, so let's jump into the charts in here. By the way, thank you very much, guys. We're getting really close to 700 subs. It would be great if you can get there. I really appreciate, and I'm going to continue to create more content. And let me know in the comments as well what kind of content you would like me to create. And ask me questions. Maybe I can do a little bit of more educational during the live streams. If you guys ask me questions, I'm open to do that instead of just looking at the charts. But also ask me what levels are you looking for, so we can look at them together and try to identify where are the key levels, what opportunities we can actually take advantage from in the market. So let's take a look into dollar index. As always, that's the one that we are looking for. Price, it did exactly what we have been waiting in that aspect. All right, so again, I mentioned about this about top. I was not really happy with it in terms of I was looking for price eventually to break that level, and it broke this morning. All right, so this morning we had that initial reaction from here, and price actually then reversed all the way down just to react from the next month zone. Right, so basically price made that move up, retraced all the way back to the low that created that move, and now price is trying to go higher. In my opinion, I think dollar index does want to go slightly higher. This is a good level to have some reaction, but I'm not really I don't really think that price will just now react from here and push lower. I think price wants to go a little bit more to the upside, and it goes into alignment the levels that we've been talking about already for the last 10 days, which is somewhere around this level, close to the highs. That's a little bit more of where I'm looking for in here on the dollar index. Yes, there is this level. Price could actually have retraced in here. Maybe if it did, I actually may have actually looked for potential longs in here, or I'll be a little bit more confident on that. But price just respected this level, even though this level is still fresh, 100%. And then the question mark is this an engulf down or not, right? But that's something also that we've been looking at and tracking. And then, yes, definitely that we're going to be paying attention as well in here on the dollar index, how price may react from there. So again, in terms of the levels, as usually these green marks that I have in here are basically levels that I can expect or expect price to at least have a bounce to react from, levels where I think there are orders left behind. So yes, in my opinion, there is this level. That one was there, and price basically already reacted from it, expecting price eventually to continue to go higher. And then, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure where price may actually react in here. We may go actually slightly higher, may even take that high in there, or on the other side, you may just take this highs in here and react from the next structure in there. Okay, that could also be a possibility, to be honest, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually about to happen in here. Right, so potentially reaction from that level, it could happen, but I'll be just in this case, I really need price action to tell me if price by any chance is about to reverse or not. All right, I need to see that weakness. I like to see that actually price is compressing at this point. Basically, when it's going higher, breaks a level, but then retraces all the way back in here. So it's not leaving those zones behind. It just goes, breaks, and continues. Again, potentially goes, which it starts to take all those orders on the way, and eventually we can have that reversal. But we'll see. All right, so again, still cautious. To be honest, I haven't really been active with this dollar index, and I mean euro dollar as well, pound dollar. I haven't really been active. I don't really like where price is. In my opinion, it's a bit in the middle. I want to see price going a little bit more closer to the extremes and actually a bit more active, looking maybe at the Aussie dollar, New Zealand, especially now, dollar card as well, potentially the US indices as well, and even oil as well. It was quite good reaction from those lows. So we'll see. All right, so we'll keep an eye on it. An even more important currency in this to pay attention to is going to be Euro index for tomorrow, right? So we're going to take a look at it in a bit. Now the US indices, we had a really strong move to the upside. All right, today it was a really strong move all the way since basically since the CPI that the price moved to the upside. It apparently reacted quite positively to the fact that the CPI came out as expected, that there was no surprise or negative surprise in there. And there you go, price coming back all the way into this level, and you start noticing a little bit of a reaction in here. So we'll see. Again, S&P, we did manage to break below that structure when they kind of reacted from the previous all-time high. So it's a good level to expect some reaction from. But let's see. Let's see if this is going to be enough or not for price to hold in this particular case. Okay, Nasdaq managed to break all-time highs. No surprise with that. S&P is still kind of trading at around this level, and maybe with a good PA tomorrow morning, we may have another push down, and maybe price can initially feel some of this space in here. Okay, can basically feel this range, something that maybe we haven't really paid attention to, but price of the market tends to be a little bit symmetrical in this particular case, kind of to repeat the same kind of distance move that happens on the left side. Sometimes it repeats themselves, and that's why sometimes you do have that range, price kind of ranging a little bit, breaks, and then kind of comes back into the same structure. in here. So that could be a possibility. Doesn't even need to come all the way back into here, but maybe something in here could happen. In reality, maybe price actually already reacted from it on the way down with this wick in here, already reacted from it, and it went up, right? This was actually during the US Open at 2:30 p.m. So maybe that's already there. Yeah, at this point, looking for potentially break of these lows in here could be a possibility. So that's something to also pay attention in here. Second, just deal with those. Yeah, so that's going to be definitely something to be aware of. Yeah, so we'll see how price may react from this level in here. Nasdaq, all right, Nasdaq went all the way, all right, and already broke new all-time highs in here. Again, the reaction, which is actually quite good, that was basically the demand zone that is slightly above the previous all-time high. So we managed to fake out all these lows. There was no signs of bearishness during all this push to the upside. This is where waiting for price action confirmation as price approaching a good level, it matters. Instead of just placing a blind 7-minute order potentially at this level, which in this case would have been just a loss without price even having any kind of reaction, you could actually wait and see how price actually is going to approach. And if price just moves in a straight line like this, it usually doesn't really reverse like that, right? Usually we want to see then price kind of starting to slow down as it's approaching this level and then potentially turn, like similar to what's going on right now on the S&P. And in reality, this level was not bad, right? That's something else that you can also take advantage from or understand, is that yes, there were orders in here, but those orders actually they flipped. Like instead of now looking at the sell, price broke and it used exactly that same structure, but now as a long opportunity, kind of as a breakout setup. And that was actually the move that ended up happening in here on the Nasdaq. Now price continues to go higher. It's actually starting to show a little bit more of compression in here opposite to this level, but it's still quite strong. So that's something to also pay attention to in here on the Nasdaq. We'll see what's going to happen at around this structure in here. All right, so that's something that I'm going to be looking for. Just continue to go bullish or to go to the upside until eventually see a little bit of weakness. So that's something to pay attention. You can actually take a look at also at the VIX. The VIX has been a big factor why last week we started to look for some shorts on the indices, because price was literally approaching this 12-13 mark, and we had that reaction. We actually now reacted a little bit from this next structure in here. Basically we have this one in there, and price is holding it, right? So price is holding that level. Also have kind of this trend line in here. So we'll see how price may react from here. As long as price continues to be quite low in here, there's always the risk eventually for price to the indices to have a little bit of a bearish sign in there. So that's something to pay attention. If price starts to break above this level, that's going to be a bit more concern for the US indices, with the potential to even go there. That can maybe lead into a bigger move. Otherwise, if price just continues to be like this, then maybe the US indices will continue to break new all-time highs and push to the upside. We have Dow more bearish comparing with the other ones, and apparently this trend line is literally respecting and holding price to the downside, and we can continue. Like one of the first targets was to look for price to close this gap. That happened in here, and a little bit of manipulation. Now price may continue to move downside. If price does want to go all the way into this level in here, I wouldn't be surprised if that would happen. So that's something to bear in mind in here. Yeah, so paying attention to that level, we'll see what's going to happen in here. Yeah, aside from that, not really much. Again, we have DAX. DAX is approaching once again the highs, and that's good. Let it come, let it go get a little bit closer to this level. So I'm looking, potentially there's still a zone in there that price could react from. Now we always have to, or need, we always have to ask ourselves if this will make sense or not, right? Did it respect something important, or did it broke and open space for price to go even further down? In this case, it reacted really nicely from this demand zone, which was also this previous level of resistance becoming support. So it's a valid level. Looking at the bigger picture, yeah, maybe that's enough for price to continue to go higher, but it may not be the final zone in here, so it may continue to push a little bit more as well. even though it did create a double bottom in here. So that makes it a little bit more bullish than bearish, to be honest. In here, something to bear in mind. So yes, price now is approaching that high. I want to see it being taking this level, which this is already kind of a reaction from that left shoulder. But you may have that level in there. It's something to track, okay? Because it was quite aggressive to move up and then move down, and usually when this happens, it may actually just go end up creating a new all-time high before the reversal. May not be anything in there to hold price at this point, but you can track it. We can just follow it and try to see if there's anything in there or not. We can also analyze how price is approaching the level. For example, we created now this structure in here, which is going to be quite important to see if price breaks this level, maybe starts opening the door for price to go further down. If it doesn't, if price just keeps holding this level in here and continues to push higher, then we may end up having that new all-time high in here. If price starts breaking this level, then that can start opening door to go down. Price then could go all the way there and then start moving to the downside from here. So that's, for example, a zone or something to pay attention as well in here on the DAX. I'm actually going to set up some alerts in here to pay attention to. I should actually have some alerts in here as well on the S&P. All right, looking now at crypto. All right, so above 100k again. All right, so price has been bouncing and bouncing around this level in here, and I'm curious to see how price may react from this level again. All right, so that's something to keep an eye on. Again, good momentum. I really like the fact that price respected these left shoulders. Okay, after price broke, it actually respected that level quite nice. So if I count that level and respected this low in here, this is something just to have as a reference. Okay, price did manage to break below that level. It's something that I'm paying attention to. Eventually, when price comes back into this 90k mark, it may actually go a little bit further down instead of respecting this level. It doesn't mean that price will just drop. It's Bitcoin, it's all-time highs. Like, you need to be cautious with that, but it's a level that I'm paying attention. That yes, price did manage to break below that low in here. Yeah, aside from that, paying attention to see how price may react above this structure within this level, if there's anything in there, or if price is going to just gain momentum and push to the upside. Then you can look a little bit at Ethereum as well. Ethereum holding these lows at this point in here and pushing a little bit more to the upside as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what Ethereum may do when it gets closer again into this level in there. So that's another zone in here to pay attention to on Ethereum. Yeah, so when they're not really touching, and this one is basically just in the middle. Now let's take a look into the Euro index, which is basically one of the most important pairs for tomorrow, because we have ECB and we need to try to understand if there's going to be any bearish bias in here or not. So what we need to pay attention to, first of all, where is this wall reacting from? Is it tending to downside? Does the Euro wants to push lower or not? We are expecting from the ECB for another rate cut. We are expecting, one second, we want to see, or the ECB or the market's expecting a 25 basis cut from 3.4% to 3.15. So 25 basis point rate cut is expected tomorrow. And of course, then it's going to be all about the press conference from Christine Lagarde and try to understand what's the main concern at this point for the ECB, right? Because there are many concerns. There are many concerns, starting with the state of the economy across many Euro countries, including Germany, France, and so on. The manufacturing PPI and manufacturing PMI, and also even the services is not that great. It's below 50. Manufacturing is way below 45. So that's close to 40 even. So that's a concern in there as well. There's going to be election now. I think the next election in Germany is going to be in February. I think France as well is in kind of some political crisis as well. So it's far from being steady at this point. And maybe Christine Lagarde and ECB, they are looking at these interest rates and taking this approach of cutting the rates to create some kind of stimulus into the Eurozone economy. So that's one of the reasons. Unemployment, I'm not really sure how the employment is in Eurozone at this point, if it has been growing or not. I think CPI is kind of steady. It goes in alignment with what ECB is looking for. But there are concerns in the economy, and you may get into recession, to be honest, in 2025. So yes, they are using this approach of cutting rates to create or try to help and create some kind of stimulus to help the economy in the Eurozone. So it's going to be all about how the market is going to interpret basically the press conference and the bias and the language that Christine Lagarde is going to share with all of us tomorrow. Otherwise, we may continue to push forward. All right, we may continue to push forward. There are concerns in the Eurozone, so we may continue to push forward. We didn't really manage to break. Now you can't look into the technicals. You can look into the charts now. Right, we didn't really manage to break that high. That managed to push price down in here. Price respected it, and we still have a little bit of that structure as well. So we are literally stuck. We are literally stuck within this range for the time being. And we need to see, honestly and unfortunately, I don't really have a clear bias at this point. I'm going to pay attention also to the other euro pairs to see if there's anything that stands out to me in terms of breaking levels, because that can also help in terms of direction. We have the structure, prices respecting it. We have all this compression here. I could see price pushing lower at these lows and then eventually going higher. If there's anything in here that could happen, or price could fake out this level one more time, push something into the left side. Yeah, push a little bit lower on the left and then go higher. We'll see. All right. Yeah, we definitely need to pay attention to it. This level in here on the weekly time frame, it looks like that is still fresh. None of these highs reacted from it, so it could actually spike and go down. Perhaps that's another possibility. All right, so basically that's the level in there, which is also the previous high low in that case. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what's going to happen in here. Then you have yen index, right? And this is the one that we talked about. There was this initial spike and then the push to the downside, right? This is basically already a reaction to what could happen next week or the next few months with the hike. All right. While many central bankers are cutting rates, the BOJ is actually doing the opposite in here, right? Because they have been keeping the rates low for quite a long time, and now they feel the need to start increasing them in here. So we had that initial spike, and then price pushed to downside. So no surprise whatsoever, to be honest. Price has been reacting from, or has been moving quite nicely to the downside after that reversal that happened last week, and you're looking for price to get a little bit closer into this next zone in there as well. It's a nice level in here, but potential price again can continue to move even a little bit lower into something else. All right, and if you continue to look a little bit further down, yeah. Yeah, is there anything in here standing out to me? It's a good reaction. We just fake out this low, so anytime we kind of take a low, we can always have some kind of reaction, as we know. We did manage to break a high with that move today, so that's also a potential bullish sign in here. On the other side, we can definitely have a potential trade in here just to come back closer to this level again. All right, so that could be eventually a possibility of price reacting somehow from that level and go short again, or continue to push to the downside from there. So that's something to bear in mind and to pay attention to in here. At the lows, is there anything? Yeah, not entirely sure. Yeah, not really. All right, let's take a look into the individual currency pairs. All right, euro dollar. All right, so euro dollar continues to push to the downside, similar to the dollar index. We had that push up with the CPI, if not mistaken. But price just respected this next level, so no engulf, compression on the way down, and as we have been talking as well, potentially this level in here, somewhere around there, could be the zone to look for a potential long in here. So I'd like to see euro dollar actually taking out all these levels and getting a little bit closer to something in here. To be honest, even though price is still respecting this demand zone, which is a valid level in here, but yeah, I would like to see more weakness. I would like to see price taking out this structure, and only after that potentially starting to move to the upside. If that's the case, because again, as I mentioned, bigger picture, this can actually be an engulf to downside, and price may actually still want to go further down. All right, and maybe just to fake out into that zone, it's enough for price to continue to push lower. I actually kind of like the level, especially when looking at the daily time frame. It's really good, to be honest. Faking out all this structure, perfect reaction into here, which goes a little bit in alignment as well with this previous level there. And price since then has been just moving to the downside with some fights, retracements in here, but yeah, overall price has been breaking new lows. So are you going to have the chance of maybe a spike in there and push lower, or just a continuation? I'm going to look for price to get lower or below that level in here, to try to see if there's anything whatsoever that can motivate me to look for any long. Yeah, keep an eye on this one as well to see if price breaks or not that zone. Yeah, so we'll see. And it's not the best because it's in the middle, so it's never easy. Pound dollar also kept trading within this range. We do have kind of that low being broken, then we have another low being broken. It starts opening some doors in here, which eventually can lead into pushing a little bit more to the downside. But we'll see if price by any chance wants to go higher. Yeah, not really interested in here. Yeah, so we have pound dollar in the range. On the other side, we have euro pound just moving to the downside. So we managed to break that low in here. All right, so we managed to go to take this one, and now we are still reacting from within this structure and trying to see if price even wants to go lower than that and aim to get closer to something else in there. So that's something to bear in mind. We did have a little bit of a break in here, but then price in reality was just still respecting that level. So yeah, we'll see what's going to happen. And if this euro pound is going to continue to push forward, not tomorrow we have ECB, so there could be a potential opportunity in here to pay attention to on the euro pound. But yeah, we'll see. Aussie dollar, there you go, right? So Aussie dollar, that's the one that we've been waiting. All right, price finally took that low and it starts turning. Okay, not even that low, but also this low in here, and this reacts from something underneath that level. So that's beautiful on the Aussie dollar. And I'm looking to see if price, again, unfortunately I was not at my charts when this happened. Price then kind of moved up, CPI and whatnot, and then has been respecting this level. I want to see price getting back into this level in here to potentially look for a long. So that's what I'm going to be looking for and tracking. Price did manage to break above this high already. We have a few other highs in here being broken. This one is also kind of an engulf upwards, and eventually could even target all of this, right? So that could be eventually the range that you could be looking for on the Aussie dollar. So that's really a potential interesting trade that you can have in here. Again, the potential of kind of stimulus, the talks of another rate cut in Australia for next year. So all that can have a little bit of an impact in here, and the shift. We are going to have unemployment later on, but just in 5-6 hours. So that's something also to pay attention to. Yeah, definitely something to be aware of for a potential trading here, or a potential move that we can have. This price wants to go even lower where it is right now. That's the question as well. So basically price has this demand zone, which had some kind of reaction in the past, but now kind of coming back and still reacting from it. Does price by any chance wants to go below this level in here, right? That's some yeah, valid question that you can look for. If price does want to go even below that or kind of react from here or not, which means that in this case then price could still push a little bit more to the downside, but maybe it's not there where it wants to go right away, so we'll see. But definitely something to keep an eye on. We have EURUSD. EURUSD is even better. All right, so EURUSD reacted really nicely as well after those Chinese comments, and then kind of retested again. So this is a nice one. Prices which is noticing some weakness in here, and in alignment with this EURUSD, more euro CAD, potentially euro dollar continuing to go a little bit worse, starting to see the trend in here on the euro pairs. Right, you start noticing that euro pairs actually are moving to the downside today, and starting to see some weakness in here. Really good reaction. Price already reacted from this level as well, so we'll see if there's anything else in here, right? And if this one starts actually moving to downside, we may have that opposite move on the Aussie dollar, right? And we have that push to the upside on the Aussie dollar potentially. So again, unemployment later on, something to affect also this euro Aussie. But good reaction, really good reaction. Fake out that high, good reaction from that level, and it's already moving. All right, so is this some kind of possible move? Maybe. All right, pound Aussie. Right, pound Aussie took that high, got a little bit closer into the structure. Interesting. And now, yeah, now basically it's trying to push a little bit more to the downside. I didn't really follow this pound Aussie, but it's moving a little bit again. Euro in general has been a bit more negative. That's why you saw a little bit of a bigger move on the euro Aussie comparing with the pound Aussie, but this is what we have at this point. Yeah, we'll see. Then New Zealand, right? So New Zealand, that's another one. Price ended up picking out that low and got a little bit more into this level in here, right? It's still a demand zone, to be honest. It's still kind of that level in there where price is reacting, and then of course you can go a little bit further down to potentially look for more longs, right? Because price is pushing to the downside, and then eventually price does want to go all the way. Then you're looking for price to go eventually closer to this level in here. So we'll see again similar price action on the world time frame in here when looking at New Zealand and also Aussie. We didn't really manage to break that high. I mentioned that part in the moment. Then price fake out the lows, and I'm curious to see how price may react underneath this structure. This is literally the level that has been holding price today after that push up. So yeah, a fake out of this level could lead into an interesting long opportunity in here, like this level in here on this 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so something around this level could hold or even in there. So yeah, I'm going to be tracking. We did manage to break above this level, but price basically just respecting this level in here. But it's going to be something to keep an eye on. All right, again, yes, bigger picture, we may still want to go further down, and maybe price still wants to get a little bit closer to this level, but overall, not a bad level. Then looking at the yen pairs, starting with Aussie yen. Where is it? All right, so Aussie yen, beautiful move. Okay, so we broke that level, came all the way down, respected this level. That was around the moment that we had those comments coming from Japan, and what a move, right? It was like really quick, just reacted and pushed, and goodbye. Like you can see even here the spike into that level in here, and then price just moved to the upside, right? So that was an interesting one. Let's see if price follows. Again, price is actually respected as well, but let's see if this is now the moment that we can look for a little bit more of a push to the upside, which means that the yen index would go down, but it means also that maybe Aussie dollar, it would go a little bit stronger as well, or looking a bit more to the upside. So that's something to bear in mind when price gets closer to this level. Then we look at the dollar yen. Again, beautifully, we talked about this well, to be honest, that price could retrace a little bit back into this demand zone that managed to price or break price to the upside. Great Quasimodo in here, good reaction, and price now just moves to the upside. We had already broken that high. Yeah, goes there, react, and now pushes higher. Yeah, good level, and yeah, looking for price to get a little bit closer into here. Yeah, on this dollar yen, I'm still not really convinced where to potentially start looking for a retrace. We do have this well in here for our daily zone. Is there anything in here that could? Yeah, not entirely sure. Track it. Euro yen, this is another one, and it's going to be interesting tomorrow with the ECB. So it continued to push higher after that reaction. So that was something that we looked at last week, and now price is pushing, continues to push the upside. Kind of good reaction from that level, and potentially continue to look a little bit more to the upside in here. Yeah, not entirely sure if. Yeah, not sure if this level is good or not. Yeah, I'm not really interested at this point. I would like to see it getting a little bit closer into some kind of extreme. We do have this structure that price kind of broke, never really retested it. There's maybe something in here unless this kind of already took it. Perhaps. All right, so yeah, that's the one. Pound, yen also moving more to the upside. I think there's maybe more room in here. Again, great reaction from that demand zone. So even all these lows or this spike that happened this morning, they actually reacted from nice levels. There was not exactly anything being broken when this lows or this spike happened. Aussie yen, great reaction from demand zone. Dollar yen, demand zone. Euro yen, also not a bad level where the spike reacted from. Pound yen, good reaction as well. Like, so we're not really seeing any break in here, and now price basically filling out this compression that we talked about. Yeah, nice one in there. What else do we have? We have CAD, right? And we can look a little bit at CAD yen. Yeah, price turning. So we had CAD, and I was looking to see if price would fake out this level before. Like, I didn't really like it. I actually like now the fact that price came all the way down just to react from this demand zone in here. All right, so it makes this level now weaker for the future. Now I want to see definitely a fake out of this level, and I think we can get a little bit closer to potential turn in here. I think price will definitely use this liquidity in here for a potential move. Again, we may have just a fake out into this level and price goes higher. Maybe that's the one, just retesting this level, or price eventually can actually properly fake out as well and start breaking even below that level and potentially go and fill maybe this price in here, for example. Now it's reacting from this level, it gets weaker with the reaction, that initial reaction. So yeah, something to pay attention to for tomorrow. 100%. I'll be tracking it as soon as price breaks that high. Looking at the other yen pair, CAD pairs, when we look at Euro CAD, and this is the one, right? This is the one that I mentioned. Great reaction from that level that was yesterday morning, and price still left this level behind in here, right? Price never really retraced all the way back into here. So we had that initial reaction, and then price moved to the downside. And what I meant before is that by any chance, if the ECB tomorrow is negative as well, so we're going to have price basically filling out this range in here. So that, yeah, that's a possibility. We'll see. All right, then you may have this level, then you may have, of course, the zone above that, and of course you still have this level in here as well. Yeah, so that's one of them. And then pound card. Yeah, pound card respected perfectly. Just had that thing goofed down and then respected perfectly that level. We've been working for price to actually get a little bit closer into the zone. Yeah, it got into there. Already had a few of these lows, so basically price filling this range in here. Really nice move initially. If not mistaken, yeah, it was with the CPI and then it was with the interest rate decision. Right, so okay, great level. Price kept respecting in here these highs. Really nice move. Yeah, we'll see what's going to happen next. It starts breaking some structure in here and eventually could be just into a continuation in here. Yeah, so we'll see in here on pound card. What else do we have? Like dollar franc Swiss. All right, so we have dollar franc Swiss, and tomorrow we have interest rate decision. I just want to see price coming back into the highs, to be honest. The lows were okay. Price reacted nicely from this level, which was important. That's basically here the separation between all the structure to the downside and all this now new structure to the upside. And price went all the way back into that level. And I'm curious to see how price may react from here. As you can see, kind of that range in here as well. Basically, price just using it in here, right? So basically, we have this demand zone, which maybe price wants to fake out one more time in there, or whatever it was created today, maybe enough. But yeah, maybe price still wants to go there one more time. And I'd like to see price going above these levels, getting a little bit closer to here, and then we'll see. If price just wants to go all the way down, then maybe yeah, start targeting below that level in there as well. So yeah, a little bit in the middle. I'm going to be paying attention if price gets closer to those highs. Gold just continues. Gold just continues to go higher and now looking to break this previous high. Totally okay. That high actually could have been as a break to the upside, price retest, and now basically continue. And eventually, again, one of the levels that I'm looking for is potentially that zone in there. But you can also pay a little bit attention to see what's going on above this high, to see if there's any kind of big counter reaction that you can have. Price reacted from here, and we have that one in there as well. So we'll see. We have to take the highs and then we'll see what's going to happen. Yeah, this improved down already. Starts looking good. Silver. Yeah, silver could could go. Yeah, not entirely sure. A nice structure that you had in here. Price just fake out at 12. I'm still respecting this one in here. It looks okay. Yeah, it's in the middle. It's between the middle when considering this and that. Price is between now in the middle. So we'll see what's going to happen. And then and then oil. Right, there you go. The timings of this one. Basically that was from the Friday night and then the opening on Monday, and since then price is just moving to the upside. If you look at the weekly candle, as you can see, reaching from the opening all the way up. Yeah, you did have kind of that reaction a little bit yesterday, but since then just moving, pushing to the upside. Yeah, it was a great level. It was literally a great level that was left behind in here. We had this strong compression and price now finally breaking, and that can lead into a continuation in here, to be honest. So that's what we have at this point on oil. Like a lot of a ranging market in here. It looks kind of more of a little bit of as a downtrend, but price then start holding the lows, and now that compression becomes price moving into there. Yeah, nice one. Just continues looking at this one as well. It's a little bit lagging in regards to the other one, Brent comparing with crude oil. But yeah, we'll see. Expectation can be to go all the way. Can react a little bit of reaction from there, but eventually can even go higher. Yeah, the range it can be which it is that you're looking for. You can go back 73, 72, 72.5. Yeah, you can go somewhere in there. Right, so with that being said, thank you very much. Just to recap, euro dollar still in the size, going to be quite an interesting one with euro index as well with ECB. So are you going to continue to push the downside, or is the euro ready to turn? I think I would like to see a little bit more of a further move to downside, getting a little bit closer to those lows created 1-2 weeks ago, and the dollar the opposite, go slightly higher and try to test those highs created also 2 weeks ago. Looking at across the other euro pairs, we have euro pound. We'll see. It reacted quite nicely from the lows. Actually, I'm not sure if I showed euro pound. Yeah, euro pound it basically broke those that structure and is reacting a little bit from this level. And I'm curious to see how price may react from here. All right, and if there's going to be anything or not that can lead into a potential trade in here on euro pound. We can maybe start tracking a little bit. Price already reacted from that level. That's nice. Could continue to go a little bit more. Maybe wants to fake out this and push higher after that. Maybe we'll see, right? So that's something to pay attention to. We're getting really close to levels like this, and then we go almost to levels where Brexit happened 8 years ago. Yeah, so again, euro pound is going to be interesting to follow. Same with the euro CAD, euro Aussie, and so on. Like at this point, we are seeing some bearish signs across all those euro pairs. Let's see if that continues tomorrow. Yen pairs, I'm still not going to really touch them. And then we look at the Aussie dollar and New Zealand dollar, and that's one that I'm paying attention to look for potential longs. I do like that now price broke some important levels, and I want to look for longs in there. US indices, Nasdaq just created new all-time highs, and S&P is actually reacting still from the highs, which can actually lead to a potential short from there. But it's something that you can track. Maybe tomorrow morning going to have some more price action or more confirmation into what can happen in there, which can we'll see if the highs are going to hold or not, or you end up with new all-time highs in there as well. And if this move on on the Nasdaq is just a small fake out and price reverses, or it's something to gain momentum and continue to push higher. Dollar CAD, that's another one. We had a rate cut today. We saw the push downside, but price created all this structure here, which is kind of screaming to be taken. All right, all these highs in alignment in here are basically screaming, please take me, take out everything in here, collect the orders from whoever is trying to sell in here, and then yes, then maybe we can continue to push a little bit more downside. Prices reacted nicely from that level. It was one of the last ones. Then eventually price again makes it weaker, which eventually could lead into a little bit more of a deeper retracement into something in there, or even more. So that's one to pay attention to, this dollar CAD as well tomorrow. Yeah, that's basically it. Gold also approaching and almost taking that high, which then it can have a little bit of a correction. Or are we going to go all the way kind of back a little bit into this structure as well? Would be nice in that. So yeah, good luck for tomorrow, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. Try to push it to 700. I really appreciate it. They're so close, like 2 subs away. So thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Obrigado.